Let's see. Got it. Oh, hi, everybody. I'm just sitting here. Hi, everybody. We're on. Yeah, we're on, kids. Welcome to the GH mini spotlight. Oh, my God. Got it. Frank Rand's here. Hi, everybody. I'm just sitting here. Oh, my God. I'm talking about so wrong. Frank's here, folks. That's all you need to know.
We're just sitting quietly.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit here, just like take in the day. It's Sunday. I'm having a drink, but it's actually not alcoholic, but it should be alcoholic. Why is it saying a private video? It's not a private video. Oh, I see no chat room. So for you listening to us, we're having some issues with internet and stuff. Not just us. Also, 10-4GA, shout out to them. They have no show. Ultimately, they're trying to get on. We're having issues. I don't know what's going on. If it's LA, I don't know if it's the hurricanes. I don't know what's going on, folks. But I'm like having an issue, and it's saying that this shouldn't be private. It should be public. I'm not doing this for my health. Let's see. I'm doing this for you guys. So let me see what the F's going on here. But we're gonna talk about General Hospital possibly for the week ending the week ending August 25th. Rest in peace, Bob Barker. That's sad. 99 years young. Have your pets spay and neutered, please. To help control the pet population. Plus, he died on National Dog Day.
Still hands down great in Happy Gilmore. Was phenomenal.
Yes, that's another one too. Yes, and for people who watched Bold and Beautiful, he made appearances on that too. So
as himself,
yeah.
Oh.
Over the years, they're all CBS. They're across the hall for each other. When you think about it, there's like Price is Right was over here, and Television City and Y&R's here, and Bold was right there. So they're all all down the hall for each other.
Yeah, but what brought him into the fashion universe of Bold and the Beautiful?
I was like choking all of a sudden.
Don't you die on me, James.
I know. I was like, he asked me a simple question. I'm like, well, like him. It's Bob Barker. I can't talk about it. No, I don't remember. It's been a while why he came on, but he did come on several times over the years. And that's all you need to know, folks. Okay. Look it up. Look it up, everybody. Google it.
Yeah, and
YouTube it.
Arlene Sorkin as well passed.
Arlene Sorkin. Now, for me, I didn't do the comics, so I didn't do the Harley Quinn stuff. I know her from Days of Our Lives in the 80s as Quirky Calliope. She was the bomb. Great actress. So I guess in Harley Quinn, she was a pretty good voice for that.
Yeah, she was great. She helped. It was her role on Days that helped define that character, and as well as Arlene's personality too. So, without Arlene, that character would not exist as it is now.
Well, I didn't know that. That's good to know. I'm seeing the equal love from both. I'm an old Days fan, so that's why I'm like, yes, her and Eugene, which Sammy, played by Allison Sweeney, star Allison Sweeney, got her middle name from Eugene. She's Samantha Jean. So they always call her that. So yeah, so she's named after a dude. So it's kind of funny. But they always call her Samantha Jean when they get mad at her. And it's from that whole coupling. So a lot of fun. Back when soaps had fun. When soaps had a good time, Frank. I don't know. I mean, yeah. Oh, anyway, let me continue church announcements. If they have their internet correctly, you'll also hear from Dish and Days after us at 3 o'clock, talking about the late John Aniston. And I was watching those episodes over there. Victor Kiriakis' death. Went through the whole cast. And very touching episodes. And just once again, seeing Wally Kurth do his thing over there as he's doing his thing over here. And as he said, they were filmed 6 months apart. They're airing now on both shows, but Days is 6 months ahead.
Wow.
Kind of cool, isn't it? Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. Shout out to Victor Kiriakis and everybody on that show. It was really great. Oh, we loved it. Oh, we can see each other. Everybody's here. You guys are here. You can see us. Oh, you can see everybody can see us. Yes, also I didn't know him, but wrestler Bray Wyatt also passed away. And I didn't know him, but he seems so young. He was born in 87. I'm like, so young as a wrestler. He was so young.
Yeah.
Him. And yeah, Nancy Frangone also died too. Some actions died. A lot of folks are dropping this week. Don't know why they're dropping. So if we're getting residual folks from 104GH, welcome. We're gonna do our best. We're not them. We're not Matt and Kat. We're shadier than them. So we will be telling you exactly how we feel about this show.
There you go. You guys may never go back to the 10th floor. Oh, no. Yeah, please go back to them.
Yeah, you always go back to them if you want to. Just say you want something different. They go, James, we can see you. Yes, we want to be seen. Thank you. That's all we want to be seen. So yes. Oh, Jason says Donna and her lemon bars won on The Price is Right as contestants. So I guess that was one thing.
Oh,
thank you, Jason.
And her lemon bars.
Yes, on Bold and Beautiful, it's a long thing. Pam is known for the lemon bars she used to make, and Donna and Pam were adversaries. It's a whole long story. Yes.
What would you rather have, the lemon bars or the pickled lila?
Neither.
Yeah.
Neither. Okay. Go get her a second. Okay, I'll give her a second. Wine Arm Boulder Up. We did those. Happy birthday to my cousin, Emmy winner, Christian J. LeBlanc. I talked to him the other day, who played Michael on Wine Arm for like 100 years. So happy birthday to him. And Jason Jose has a book called Broken Circle. Some people actually have purchased it because he said from us. And it's a great book. You like soap stuff? Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. We can't get enough for our soap recaps and hosts. Actually, Matt has a nice head of hair. Don't talk about his hair. Has a nice head of hair. I mean, my hair's cute too, but he has a nice head of hair. And Frank, they want to know, of course, they're jonesing. They want to know. You've been in a few weeks.
Oh boy. Yeah.
He's an old boy. He's an old boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go.
He's an old boy. I love it.
Here we are.
242-558, you guys. 242. Anybody who has those numbers, play them in a lotto. 248-552. It's Frank. I really think you're going to hit 250.
That's the goal. And then, then I'm going to ascend to heaven at that point. So.
But wait a minute. Is this also the same phone, right? This whole time, right?
It's been, yeah.
What do you have?
Oh, actually, not the same phone. I mean, I have got iPhones. I keep upgrading the phones.
Oh, okay. Where are you at on iPhones? I'm an iPhone 13 Max, Pro Max.
I'm on the latest version, so I guess that's the 13 as well.
You're 14, you're 14, aren't you? Doesn't have 14?
Yeah, that's my one indulgence. Is I will stay current with whatever the new phone is. I'm in that like kind of you can do the easy renewal and bump up to the newest.
That's what I do too. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you, folks. I mean, we live on them. I mean, that's everything you need is on these phones.
If this disappears, I'm just going to go lay down in traffic because I will have nothing else to live for.
I can tell you which streets to go: Ventura Boulevard in the Valley, La Cienega here in LA. I'm like, these are good streets to go. We want maximum impact. We want to make
absolutely.
Sure. We want to see you fly around, get bumped back. I want to see it all.
I want to do it like that 5 corners there at La Cienega, or just that's where I want to so I get like maximum stuff.
Folks, of course I'm kidding. I don't want Frank to die. Cheese and crackers. It's called a bit. Okay, speaking of bits, Frank. So folks, I'm trying to find what I like this week. It's very tough for me to decide. I was very bored at this week, you guys. Very bored. But I'm here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to try to find something. One thing I will say, okay, there's one thing. I started something, Frank. One thing I will say. Homeboy, who was trying to train Curtis, was like, "Ooh, I like your ex-wife. Can she come back? Hope Jordan comes back and visits again." I chuckled on that so hard. I was like, "Well, there you go. She is beautiful, so men should be falling at her feet." So I enjoyed that part and that whole thing. Actually, I enjoyed that whole sequence, even with the guy with the no legs coming in and talking to him. I didn't mind that stuff. Actually, I didn't mind that stuff. Frank, what do you think?
It's yeah, I mean, that's just like, I guess, a slice of reality. It's like, yeah, people will talk like that. So yeah, but it's just all tied up in the whole Curtis and Porsha and Trina of it all, which I so don't enjoy. So it's just,
I don't either.
I mean, there are moments that spark with me, like Marshall and Selena Wu.
Yes, I did like that. Yes. Okay. Yes. Talk about that.
So,
Yes.
So there are little bits and pieces within the storyline that are little bright spots. But boy, it's like, going through that desert and trying to find that little bit of oasis that you can go in and get a little bit of water. As you're making your way.
Frank, we're going through a desert with a horse with no name. That's what we're going through right now, kids. Woo! Oh, ooh. I'm like, yes, it is dry. But I'm glad you brought it up. So I will kind of go there because it is related. It is related. You're right, it is related. Seeing, actually, what's really funny, we don't see this very often, to tell you the truth, to see a Black man and an Asian woman in a storyline actually just kind of like going at it. We never really see that. So optically, just looked very different for me. I was like, oh, it's interesting. And I love that Selena's just like, okay, sure, she ain't down for the count, and she's being respectful, because I think Selena does like Curtis. I think she really does, because remember she showed her check on and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think she does care about him. She does have an agenda because she wants to make sure that the club runs and everything. But I think she does like Curtis, and it's kind of like, okay. Now I always feel like everyone shits on her, and she's actually been really respectful to folks. Like, I haven't seen her being really out and out, like, because Sonny always talks down to her, and now you got Hat Daddy talking down to her or whatever. But it's like, it's a lot of work to run a club. I'm like, hello. I mean, she's kind of right about that a little bit. So, but anyway, I enjoyed that back and forth. They both kind of, their little pissing contest, so to speak. But Sonny was like, okay, I'll just go for now. I'll go for now.
It is interesting between like Selena and Sonny, because and Sonny's been here for a long time, so he's had. But there are levels to Sonny. There is certainly the straight up mob boss, but there's also the family man. There's also just the compassionate man to people he knows and cares about.
Yes.
And then there's even those moments like with somebody that he kind of knows, but still will have those those personal moments, like say, like Epiphany. I mean, I guess he knew a little bit more because of her son, but yes. But somebody that's not strictly in his orbit all the time. But he will. So you get to see layers where it's not everything for him is not an agenda, and it seems the way they write Selena Wu, there is always some agenda, and you never see the humanity. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I mean, she's an enjoyable. The performance is great, and it's always fun to see that character coming around. But there aren't, the way that she's currently being written, there aren't any levels. We just see her always with an agenda at some point. So it kind of makes it tough to to buy into that she really cares about Curtis. Like, does she really care about Curtis? We've not necessarily seen that. She cares about Curtis in as much as that he's a means to an end. If the poker game did not exist, would she care about Curtis as much? I don't know. They've not given Selena those opportunities to have just real human moments with anybody. And, maybe the show doesn't want to do that. They just wanted to picture her as just always the kind of just mob boss of her section. And that's one choice, but it's tough for me to see Selena as a fully rounded character if the show's not giving me those moments with her.
No, what you're saying is completely true. I know. I guess I want to see it, so I see it somehow. But you're right. You're right. They haven't given her. Everyone wants more Selena. Mm-hmm. The fans like it. Everybody wants more Selena. So you're absolutely right. We haven't seen enough. That part is true. But I think she does. I think in the few exchanges, I feel like she plays it that she does. So I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing some more, but I just think that you're right. They don't give her. We want more. I thought with Brad and they're giving her a family, I think, okay, I mean, this could be really good, but you're right. They're just not, they're not investing.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the lack of Brad on lately. I mean, I felt like there was a moment where like in some kind of peak Selena territory where they're like, hey, the show is like you're saying, they're gonna make an investment. We're really gonna get to know her. And then that moment seemed to kind of come and go because of late we have not really seen her that much, which is unfortunate. I mean, there was that whole promise of Maxie and Brad becoming the besties now that Britt was gone. That was like kind of Britt's plan. And that has not reached any sort of that has not made any sort of movement at all, which is a shame. I would like to have seen that.
Yeah, they have. I mean, that's another storyline. I mean, we'll get to that. The deception, all that. Sticking with this. Okay, so Jordan's visited him, Curtis. Porsha stayed away, but Porsha has had several conversations.
That she has.
Yes. Now I'm happy with you. They heard us. They heard us, Frank. Bringing Trina back to the gallery. Yes, finally, something else for her to do. Right. Thank God. Having Porsha talk to Ava, that's fine. I guess that's okay. But having Porsha still doggedly against Spencer, it's like even when Ava's defending Spencer, that should tell you something. Because Ava had a lot of reason to hate Spencer, and she was in the Castelline family. We get it. But so Porsha, I can't root for her. I can't root for her and Curtis. I can't root for her and anybody. I guess Taggart is drinking somewhere under a table somewhere. We don't know where the fuck he is. We haven't any scenes with Zeke in a while, so we don't know where he is. I just feel like there are opportunities for Porsha. Again, to your point, they're not writing them. I think they're just not writing them. I mean, like, she's a doctor there. I always kept saying her and Finn should talk a little bit. I mean, I feel like maybe something, I just feel like there's other things, other uses for her that they're not doing. So having her go to the gallery, basically chase off Homeboy, and then sit there and talk to her daughter about I don't know if he won't come back. I'm like, you wouldn't talk to your daughter about your stuff about your man. Like, it's just kind of like none of it made sense to me.
It's I mean, it would help, you're right, with another story if she was involved in other like hospital stuff, part where you got to see her being a professional, being other sides of her personality that we're not getting to get to see, the more kind, nurturing parts where you could find her likable, in those aspects of her could make it easier to tolerate. Like, everybody's got their personal foibles. And so, in your own personal life, you could be a mess, but with helping out others, you can be, sometimes at your best. And it can help at least balance it out and make it a more full person. But when we only see this side, it's like, man, I just care so little about this character. They have just written her in such a way now that I'm just like, boy, I dislike every scene she's in. She's
not likable. I mean,
no.
She literally is not likable. And I think, and that's the thing, that's the hard part. It's like, so we're supposed to root for her to get back with Curtis?
Oof.
Like, would that be a good thing? Like, I don't even know if that, I mean, she's done so much damage. I'm like,
yeah.
Should she? I mean, should she?
The one thing it's always kind of bugged me, but I'm just like, for some reason, maybe because of the lack of anything else interesting this week, like that wedding photo on Portia's desk at her office is a terrible wedding photo. Like, Curtis looks miserable in that photo, and I don't know why one that she had done so quickly after the wedding, and is just like constantly looking at it all the time, and we're like, that right there is just like, that kind of sums up Portia's mindset currently.
Yes, I actually am rooting for Jordan and Curtis.
And for sure,
I enjoyed their exchange more. And actually there is more almost I mean, they're not developing her much either, but she's not really that bad. I mean, Porsha's bad. I feel like Jordan's the lesser of two evils, so I'm almost like, I kind of like her sticking around a little bit and kind of trying to give it to them a little bit. I actually don't mind that.
No, it's like I feel like Jordan recognized her mistakes that she made in her relationship with Curtis, and the way that she kind of compartmentalized information so much to the point where it ended up driving them apart. And so she's kind of approached that relationship with Curtis in a way to try to correct her behavior, or correct her past mistakes, not behavior, but and so to have a better relationship with him, and even like the way that she's kind of approached handling information with other with other people. So you feel like you've seen efforts in her trying to kind of change what has led to past mistakes for her. So it's great. So you want to see, I'm with you. I'd rather see Curtis and Jordan get back together, because ultimately, like, yes, she, from Curtis's point of view, yes, he lied to her, but her, in comparison between her and Porsha, like, Porsha is so much worse.
Yes.
And I don't understand why Curtis thought, like, this is the relationship I'm finally going to come around to and try to make work. This one. Right. Your previous one, it would be a much easier thing to fix and kind of build back up again.
I concur. I did. We haven't been on that long. Porsha is needy. Frank goes, Frank, aren't most people? Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad. This storyline I'm picking so hard to not just be negative Nancy. I'm just like, but it's like the way it's being written, I'm just like, there's no rooting power. I'm rooting for Curtis to get his, he'll get his legs back. Obviously, he'll get his stuff back. We know that's going to happen. Yeah. That's fine. But I like that it's showing him go through it. I guess no problem with that. So we have, so out of that, we have the Porsha stuff. Then we do have the Spencer stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and I will say, as it segues into that, like, the part that really just, like, I am just really kind of done with Porsha was the fact that she did show up at the gallery. She knew full well that Spencer was there, and she just kind of plays it off as like, oh, I didn't realize. Like, thumbs down. See you later, Porsha. And I don't know. I'm waiting for Trina to just wisen up, and I don't know why they're writing Trina so dumb. She seems to always pick up on stuff about Spencer, but the fact that she's not picking up on anything with this is crazy to me.
I concur. I don't know what to say about that. I concur because I have talked ad nauseum outside of the show about Trina and how they treat her. It just bugs. Spencer gave that text from Esme about the dinner. And at first he sounds smart. It's just baby food. Like, what the fuck? Why are you gonna go there? But then it's like, maybe I should go. And I like, see, the storyline could be so much better. But I will say, as I'm picking stuff, I like the audience now knows, because it's been, super revealed. This whole, we'll get into that in a second, the whole rewriting of Austin's story, all that. But I like the fact, though, that we as an audience knows Nicholas is not dead. He's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
Austin saved him, basically, at the behest of Cyrus and Mason, whatever. So it's good to know at some point the character can come back, and it won't be that hard to come back. So everyone go to jail. Also, it kind of lets us know a bunch of things not going to happen. So that's good. However, as I would say, by Talking Twin, it doesn't really help the story that much, though, because we're still stuck in what we're stuck in. And when she's like, Trina's like, what are you going to do after your grandmother comes back? Where are you going to live? I don't know. I won't go. Like, it is kind of getting to the point where it feels like they're sacrificing the youth part of them for this baby. that this brother is everything that life could. I mean, it's Frank. It's too much. It's too much.
I agree. This has become like an albatross around.
Yes, that's a good word. Yes,
around these characters' necks. I mean, it is all Esme. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess we're getting a little bit of the like, hey, I'm doing good kind of pep talk from Alexis. Great for Esme, but for Spencer, it is just. Yes, I know he's had a tough childhood. Yes, I know he's had a father that's abandoned him, not once but twice. And he's got the whole Cassadine-ness of it all. But still, for him to be so singularly focused on Ace, it's just, oh man.
so I want to ask you: did you buy his whole? We watched him grow up. So,
yeah.
Did you guys at home? Did you guys buy his whole story? My only friend. You were friends with Jocelyn. You were friends with Cameron. My only friend was the driver. Now I remember the driver. I remember him. He was around, but I'm like, your childhood, yeah, there was some issues in there, but it felt very much like a little rewriting history there too.
Yeah, because I mean, it's I mean, he had his townies that he would like
Right.
to,
Yes, right.
lord over. It's like, I would have bought it more. It's like I once had a chandelier fall near me, and I had a mark on my face for a while. Like, okay, that could be a little more traumatic. It's tough. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely more of an embellishment because it wasn't. You can't say that Trina and Spencer or Trina and Cameron are your oldest friends, and then come around later and say like, "Oh, my only friend was this chauffeur. That was it." Like, I'm not quite buying that one, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not quite either. It's like, like I don't think that's completely true. I remember him a little bit, but I don't think it's completely true. It's like, I don't see it being completely true.
No, because I feel like, well, I mean, until they took him to the boarding school when they decided they didn't want to write for the character, and Nicholas was off canvas. Up until that, I felt like his family life was good. I mean, certainly he and Nicholas had a good relationship. I mean, he had his various shenanigans that he would had contentions with the townies.
Yes. But it was a history rewrite of sorts, and people chatting, they agree. I don't know. So he gives all that. I guess the whole point is, I mean, I guess beggars can't be choosers. I want to see some stuff happen with Trina. So I do want to see them share their lives and share experiences. I guess I want that too. Because I'm sorry, the kisses they were doing I think there was no passion in them. None. And it's like, I don't think they're allowing them to have passion or something. Something's off to me. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but something's off. And I'm just like, I didn't feel the passion. I didn't feel it was like no, now it's like that's all it was. I'm like, I don't understand.
The thing that's killing me here is just, and I feel like it's something we talk about every week or every time we do the show, is just the length and the pacing and the plotting of these storylines. Like, we have been stuck in this status quo for so long now, in soap opera terms, where it's just like at this point we need something to kick it into the gear, where we need Esme to pull a move to kind of fracture Trina and Spencer.
Yes.
Or we need Spencer to, tell Esme to hit the bricks or something. We just need something to kind of juice this in a different direction.
I agree.
Because it has just stayed at this kind of same tone for so long now. You're just like, I don't care about these scenes. I don't care about them. Like, if you want to play Trina and Spencer as more star-crossed lovers and have us kind of pine for them more to get together and throw up more obstacles, okay, I guess you can do that. But you got to start having to come faster than this, because this is just like, it's just like staying, like, it's plateaued right now and it is dull.
I agree. As long as say kids, I mean, you said it all. I agree. I'm going to add to that. I agree. Okay, so now we got that. So we're still in that. So still in that realm. Going to the left, we go to the best looking haircut that money can't buy in prison. Cyrus. This ties into that now. This ties into what brings in Sonny and all them too. And then we started on Nina and her whining. I can't even go there.
Oh, we'll go there at some point. But
yeah, we're gonna go there. We are gonna go there, but I mean, I can't go there. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. Yes, at the scab, right? The 5 core writers are writing right now, Marlon, not Dan and Chris. Okay. I saw behind the scenes online where he trusts James Ryder to actually cut his hair in real life. He was ready for a change. He had long flowing locks and everything. And so when I saw this scene coming up and he pulls out like the box cutter or whatever, I'm like, okay, kids, I was suspending belief. And how it was faded on the sides and feathered in the front. I'm like,
look at him. You know, it was God took the wheel and gave him a fabulous new do.
As you do, the haircut. But all folks, the person who really stole those scenes was the man in the corner showering down. He had long hair too. I told Frank on another show, I wouldn't know about him. And he worked that scene, had no lines, but he was facing the camera and he was just lathering it up. And he walked across the camera at one point with his towel on. Who that is in prison?
These scenes were just so weird to me because
it's weird, but yes.
You know, I mean, I think if you're playing into audience expectations, when you're showing scenes in a prison shower room, you are expecting something to go down. There's going to be some sort of stabbing, shanking, or something. That usually happens. Yeah, that is a scene where we're in a prison, we're in the shower, and it's kind of quiet and peaceful, and then that's a moment where somebody's going to come out and shank you. I mean, that kind of plays to the expectations of a prison storylines, and so to have all this happen and nothing happen, and it's just I just gave
what happened was he rebirthed himself. That's what happened.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Remember, he went in the water. You know, he said it's okay, time for a new whatever. He gave himself rebirth.
Oh, great! Okay, but the way they shot it, you kept on waiting for something to happen. I was just like, okay, that guy walking out of the shower, our shower daddy, is gonna stab him on the way out or something. Nope, he left. That was fine. Then he's just there by himself. And then he's just still there by himself. And then he pulls out that shank out of his boot. And then he just goes to give himself a haircut. And then that was it. Like none of the it's like, yes. Maybe he has some, the guards are on the take, but you can't tell me that no guard saw him come out of that shower and go like, hold on a second. How did that guy cut off all his hair? Give him a pat down.
A lot of things Frank are bringing up being, yes, they didn't anything. So we have a visit. Everybody's talking about it in the chat room right now from Austin. Because Mason says you have to go deliver this thing yourself. He goes to see Austin. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, they're making very good use of that new set. And we have Drew and Carly talking, and Dex and your favorite character, Book, talking. So they're doing little things over. We'll get to them in a second. That stuff's not even that important. The important part is Austin goes in, and some backstory comes up all of a sudden.
This was weird to me. Because it just seemed to put Cyrus in a different light, put Austin in a different light. And I wasn't, and for me right now, I'm not really enjoying that light. But I mean, like what they've done with Austin since they decided to just pull him away from the Quartermaines, it's all been just downhill since then. And I don't think this little addition on top of that, at this moment, to me, it doesn't seem to be doing him any favors. You?
Everything you're saying, I agree with. I have no counterpoint. I felt it's just a character that has been wasted from the restart. Like I said, it has. Having him with Elizabeth, that brief moment when gigantic Jake shows up.
Yes.
I'm like, boy, people grow. And Wyatt, we saw again after he grew too. They both grew. I mean, these kids be growing. But it's like, well, I guess yes. They pulled in Homeboy, of course, for that too. But seeing the actors together is just so weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're not addressing it at all. It's kind of crazy. So that's weird. But to rewrite this history that his mother that Cyrus would come see his mother, and it was like Christmas. And that he loved him. And he paid for all of his schooling. He paid for all in Paul talk. So it's like, okay, so we're assuming he says his mother. It wasn't Jimmy Lee, he says his mother. I don't know if she was a boyfriend, an uncle. She can't be an uncle because his siblings are already Martin and Laura. So I don't. So I guess we'll find out. But I'm like, and they changed it from. Remember, it was always a woman who was in charge.
Yeah.
Now it's being a man. A man.
As much as I've enjoyed having Cyrus back, in his various shenanigans, I don't currently, and the writers could surprise me, but I don't think I'm digging this twist to have Cyrus be the Potuk guy. It just makes it a little too convenient, too small for me. I don't know.
What it makes it do, which is not even a correct sentence, is that the optics feel like they're making it as they go along, which they wish the optics were that before. That they're making up as they go along. Well, now we're gonna make it this. Like in the beginning, it feels like in the beginning they had an idea. Either something didn't work out, or they're changing for shits and giggles or changing it. It's like we gotta make sure. I mean, again, I'm a writer. Some of you guys in here are writers too. I think I could write something totally different to make it work. I just feel like this is like the Hook Killer. We're going to just change it now and make it Heather. Like it's like, and now we're going to change this, and we're going to make it that Cyrus knew them and Mason, and is he Mason's father? I'm like what's going on? It's like there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it also just ties into me about like Cyrus's kind of whole reason that he came to Port Charles was about Laura, and this whole family connection. But if you're telling me now that he's had this kind of deep connection with and seemingly like a family in Pawtuck, then I feel like that's like, well, then Cyrus really truly wasn't. Are you saying he wasn't really alone? That he wasn't feeling? That's why he kind of came to Port Charles to do with Laura. So, because if he had all that family and that connection and that love and that adoration, that it seems like he missed out on having in his own family with Martin when he was growing up. But it seemed like he was getting it there in Pawtuck, at least the way Austin described it.
Right.
Then why did he need Laura so badly? So I don't know. I just listened to that. I'm like, this is weird now. This is weird with Cyrus's character, at least the way it's been established.
I concur completely.
And I still don't know how this all plays into. So then is any of Cyrus's kind of wanting to turn the page? Is it genuine? Is it not? Because it's like, so like Mason's like having Austin give him this information, yet we've seen Cyrus saying like, give away all my money, do all this. So like what's going on what is going on? What is Cyrus's deal then? Is this because Mason still seems to be operating like this is a really nefarious organization, yet everything we've seen from Cyrus is like saying, I'm trying to redeem myself. So those two don't quite connect to me, unless I don't know. We haven't had any indication that Cyrus is doing is trying to pull a con. It doesn't seem like. I can understand people not being willing to believe him, like Laura or Martin, for sure, because of their past interactions with him. But at least to the viewer, and it is they've Cyrus has been portrayed as like I'm genuinely trying to make a change, and he's not. There's been no tip that like I'm trying to run a con on these people. So I don't know. Austin, come on, let's just like you had him mixed in the Quartermaines. It was just great. And then they just did all this terrible stuff with him. And like now we've got this. And it just, man, what could have been? What could have been if the writers had really decided, nope, let's really keep him more invested in the Quartermaine drama? Because I think, at least to me, I would have enjoyed it more.
I feel like all of a sudden my street got very loud. And it sounds like it's Christian music. It's like blaring in my house. You guys can't hear it, but like it's really loud.
Oh,
I had a hard time talking. I'm like, it's in my ear.
Trying to get you out there to sing.
Glory, glory. No. This character, what did I say? Roger Howarth and Michael Easton. Sorry, my house is shaking right now. It's kind of crazy. Okay. It's like why? This is today for the reason. I'm just trying to do shows. Fuck. They play several characters now in this universe. It's clear Frank and the people want to keep them around. I feel like in the latest alliterations of these two characters played by these two gentlemen fall flat for me. And it's not because they're acting. It's not because they can't do it. We know they can. It's literally because of the writing and the pacing and who they're pairing them with and what's going on. It's like, it's a new Quartermaine based on a former Quartermaine. I'm like, that's gold right there. And Finn just, I mean, they're just there putting it, they're gonna make us see him and Elizabeth get back together on some level and like it. Yes. And thank you. Sorry, makes sense. I don't advocate for firing actors, but this cat seems to be cut. Although they're totally bloated completely. I got to close my windows. It's just so it's like
yeah. Yeah, to go on what you were saying, James, I would agree. It's like the most interesting versions of characters that both Roger and Michael have played have been John McBain. They're one life to live characters. Todd Manning and John McBain. That was the most interesting characters for me. Yes. Of that. And then each subsequent kind of, Franco, he was taking over that role. Whatever. That character never really did much for me. Yeah. And then now we've got Austin. And then, same thing with, we had our first, doctor that Finn played, and then we have our second doctor that Michael Easton played. So Silas, and then and now Finn. So but yeah, neither of them were interesting. Just give me Todd Manning and John McBain. Those are the characters. I'd rather see that. So I'm happy with them writing. If Frank Valentine loves those actors, which they're great, they are. Write those two characters off and bring me back John McBain and Todd Manning. Yeah, they're already on the show. Would be weird for them to come back again. So let's have them back again. Let's do it. Yeah, it's so these storylines that we're seeing, I just have a constant problem with them because of what we just talked about. I have a constant problem with them. So I can't get invested. I can't get into them.
Even Austin and Ava doesn't excite me. Not anymore. They killed that to me.
Yeah.
That's killed. Mason, I have to say, homeboy, Nathaniel, his name in real life, he says cuz and cousin like nobody else. His way on earth. I'm like, if I ever beat that actor, I'm gonna tell him, I'm like, you know what? I can never say cuz or cousin the same way again. The lollipops and everything, all that stuff. I'm like that. He says it in a way that I'm just like, it's actually chuckles me.
Because we also get that weird shot of him in the GH alley where somebody has come up and he's like all thankful for them coming to see him. Like, who is this person? I don't know who this person's supposed to be. And then we have like the scene between him and TJ.
Oh, I gotta know. Have I met you before? Have we met before? No, I got one of those faces or whatever. It's like, I think we've met before. I'm like, oh, geez.
Yeah. I'm gonna figure it out. Okay. All right.
I don't think when I meet people, I don't really care. So I don't really care to like figure I'm like, oh, you seem familiar, but I'll go about my life. I don't really care so much.
You don't sit there and like carve out hours out of your day. Like, I'm gonna devote this time to really figuring out how I know this person.
Yeah, no. Based on G30Ds. I know what's funny is Nathaniel was on Albert Bostic's show. He watches Albert's live shows and he actually did an interview with him, his first interview ever. And he thanks me for it. I don't know him, but I have reached out to him. He hasn't reached out back to me. But he did do that show. You can see his interview. It was a fun interview over there. But yeah, maybe one day I'll get him on. I'll try, but he hasn't responded to me. Get him to respond to me, folks. If you want to see him, tell him to respond to me. Martin Was, I just started watching The Bear season 1, and so far I love it. I just started watching it. I love it. I love it so far. I'm very impressed. I mean, when they make big things like this show is Emmy nominated, I'm like, whatever. I actually like it. I'm liking it so far. So I'm halfway through season 1. But anyway, anywho, so we have that. But it also spills over to Nina. We gotta mention Nina because Nina is a mess. And Nina's like, I don't understand why you won't tell me nothing. Oh my God. It's like even Ava's tired of her. Like, girlfriend, he's a mob boss. He's not gonna tell you, he's not gonna tell you everything. Like, hello. And you're just like, the character of Nina also, they've killed it. I don't,
and not in a good way. Not killing it in that good way.
Not killing it in a good way, Frank. I don't root for her. And now you folks, you know, if I'm siding with Willow, there's something wrong. Because I'm like, I don't like Willow either. But, however, in this scenario, Nina is bothering more than Willow. She's in crackers, and her and Sonny, I mean, Sonny's tired of her, and Nina's getting tired of her. It's like, girlfriend, what are you? Relax and chill. What the F? Oh. Homegirl is always on edge, always on nerves. We know her life's going to fall apart. What in February? We know it's all going to come crashing down. We know it. And I'm sure Cynthia Watts will do a great job. But I'm just telling you right now, that character is doing me no favors.
It was already rough. Yeah, I feel like that relationship's doomed to failure. And the last sign was, if you're, when Sonny buys her that jewelry that's under, it was like, if we've not reached that stage where I just got to buy her something just to, so she's not just all mad all the time. Like, guys, that's it. We're set your sails. This relationship is not going to go anywhere.
She's rich, folks. She's not poor. Like, you go buy her jewelry. Like, it's like, it just makes zero sense. And her so I'm supposed to root for her? I can't.
No. No. It's just always so rough. And like the way she comes into Kelly's.
Yes.
Where it's just,
I'm with Carly. Again, me defending Carly. Carly's just like, oh. Hey, okay, what do you want? I guess I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Anytime Nina shows up, everybody should roll their eyes. Go, oh. Okay, let's see what shenanigans she pulls. She's always just pulling something like, oh my god, this character is horrible. Not Cynthia Watros. The character is horrible to me.
It is like Nina has, it feels like they're ready Nina to have like this way that she imagines the world is going to work, where it is, yes, she did this terrible thing by not telling Sonny's family that he was still alive, but Sonny's back now and he's made his decision that he wants to be with Nina, and Nina's while that was unfortunate, it was like we've kind of moved past that though, right? And so like we should all just be happy together because I'm a nice person and you're all nice people, and we should all just be enjoying each other's presence and company. So I could walk into Kelly's and we could just, Carly and I could just like chat, about the day like old friends, and we could talk about, kids and life, and it's all going to be good. Like it seems like Nina like operates it. That is how she thinks all these interactions in her life should happen. In reality, it's not like that. It is not like that. There's baggage that has come from the actions that she started, that it's just like people are not going to be like, oh yeah, forget the past. Yeah, we want to be friends. Like Carly, you can't expect Carly to be like enthusiastic or even just civil when she sees you. Not for a while, not for a good long while, maybe not ever. But the one way to make sure that she's not going to get on board with that is to keep behaving the way you are, and just like, well, why? I don't understand. Oh.
It's just painful isn't even a strong enough word to come out of my mouth. It's so painful. It's like
and I can't really take it's just like, well, I also want to wait till February because I want to make sure Willow's going to be healthy enough to make it down, to be there. I don't want any kind of setbacks. Please, GH, just fast forward. That Willow's fine. It's great. We no longer need.
Willow's trying to get back to nursing. So.
That scene drove me crazy though. It just drove me crazy. Like I don't need to see that scene with her and Elizabeth. Just give me the scene where she's already had that conversation with Terry. And so now we're going to get you back on the schedule. Great. But it's just another obstacle of just like, well, once you talk and you get your clearance, we would love to have you back because you're so great. Is Willow so great? Because she really didn't get to do anything before she had to go.
I mean, that was my thing. Like, this is how bored I am. I was like, Homegirl was a nurse for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't remember her being this great. We take back in rotation. Was she really in a rotation that much?
No.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I know I don't like Willow. I mean, I've made that perfectly clear on this show many times, but there's some stuff, again, like Frank said, it's just it's just not even needed. They're just like filler scenes. What's filler scenes?
Yeah. Because it's like, filler. I mean, if you look at the overall reason was to get her to be at the hospital so she could have that scene with Christina, which for one thing, I mean, it was nice to at least have Willow have a scene where it was, not about her and all her issues. It was more focused on giving advice to somebody else, or her thoughts or her opinions.
That's true.
So I was happy to just see them give the character that, but but write me a better scene to get Willow in there. Don't give me that repetitive scene where it doesn't do anything for Nina's character. Like, well, but you can't yet. So you got to get all cleared. Like, we know this. We already know all this. Just please, just get her back into working in rotational hospital. Maybe some new storyline will generate for Willow. Please. Oh,
like we talked about them even too long than I want to. Okay, so we're at the hospital. So we'll say we're there. We're at the hospital. I guess we can go into this now because it is getting out there. And I didn't mind this part. So Gregory's illness is finally coming out. And I didn't mind him talking to Elizabeth. That didn't bug me so much. It was like, okay, that's fine. About his illness. And they haven't told Chase yet. But I don't have a problem with that. Actually, I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, again, you and I both have stated we don't want the storyline to happen, but it's happening anyway. But Gregory Harrison's he's chewing some of the scenery. He's working it out during the storyline. He's showing he can do some acting, I guess. I'm trying to be polite. I'm sorry, polite. I don't know what else.
No, Gregory Harrison's great. I just wish he had better stuff to work with in the storyline, or just, I don't know. It was like they've done this. We've talked about this, but it's just like they've done this character no good service by just kind of bringing him in the way that they did, and the lack of actually writing anything interesting with him. And then you want to pull this ALS card on us now. It's just, I've got so little investment in this character and the ALS of it. Right. And it's a shame because it's like, if GH, when they go to that well, whether it's Alzheimer's with Mike, AIDS with Stone, when they really, pour their heart out, they can tell really great stories about this. But I don't know. I mean, it was built on characters that you already had a rooting interest for and already had a sense of and cared about, and a history. Certainly, Mike's certainly longer because he'd been off and on throughout the years. But Stone, I mean, was with Robin, had the connection with Sonny. There was already some built-in some support, interest, and engagement, and likability for that character. And they didn't do that with Gregory. And so to give us this, it's just like you're giving us this storyline, which could be really heartfelt. It could do great, it could lead to some great scenes, but it's with a character that I don't really care that much about. And so it just kind of robs it of some of the emotional investment and impact that it could have on me as a viewer.
A fan thinks Tracy and Homebush had a quickie affair when she was drunk. That would have been more exciting.
Yeah.
Her getting drunk, she gave a little more information to Brooklyn, but it wasn't anything big bombshells. And her hitting on Mac or whatever, that was cutesy, I guess. They were scenes together. I want to like it. I want to think, funny, kind of granddaughter, grandmother, kind of like, getting drunk. I mean, I just...
It could have been interesting if there had been more gotten out of it.
Yeah.
Just some kind of good night. Like, there really wasn't anything gotten out of it, which is frustrating. It's like, this is another one that I need to know the next level for. Like, why is Tracy so adamant that deception burned to the ground on this?
Yep. Because now that bleeds into that, where, which bleeds into almost a full circle back to Selena Wu again. Because Selena was like, I can't handle this situation right now. But I'll go over and bother Gladys real quick. Spend my money. I want my money, bitch. But yet, you can't get no money because everything's frozen. Because of Tracy.
Yeah.
Of Brooklyn having to help Tracy. And so they're all, I mean, yeah.
The one thing that I did, I liked, and I was hoping that it's like, I'd rather not have this ALS storyline happening now. If you want to do this ALS storyline with Gregory, then wait for a little while before you pull that trigger on it. This would have been the perfect opportunity to, because when you hear Tracy because what we haven't really heard from Tracy is truly the depths of how she misses Luke and what Luke's death.
Her and Finn, I like that.
And even when she's drunk, and she's kind of revealing that a little bit to Brooklyn as well too. So that one I feel is like a little bit more raw and unfiltered, because her defenses are really lowered because she's just boozed out of her gourd. So we're really getting that, seeing the genuine pain that she feels about losing Luke, and to see in a world where we could have played like, oh wow, this is Gregory Harrison's character, like somebody that's totally opposite of Luke, yet for some reason he is the right fit for her right now in her life, it's definitely, 2-star cross, 2 ships in the night that are, I would have loved to have seen that pairing happen and just see what that would have been like. And then you can pull the ALS card. Get him a little bit more invested in the show, get more characters to get him more invested within the framework of the show before you pull something like this. I think it would have been so much more entertaining.
Jackson Montgomery is returning next week. Yeah, we know. Not excited. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because it's not going to be anything great, which is the frustrating thing. It's like, I would love for it to be great. But it's just going to be mediocre.
I agree. So we have Gladys.
And it was great. And I'm sorry, James, to go back to what you're saying, it was nice to have a Tracy and Finn scene. For sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. Brooklyn, of course, ruins it all, but I did enjoy it. And the kind of thing, I don't want to say it, not to lie to you. That was kind of fun. Yes. Their relationship was cute. I like the relationship, so I do like that.
But it's frustrating though, because I wanted them to have those conversations. Not necessarily, I didn't really care more about Tracy's, reasons for Brooklyn, but for Gregory's, to be able to have that kind of conversation with Tracy. I would have loved to have Finn and Tracy have that conversation. That is the one I was more interested in. But instead, we like, I don't want to have to lie to you, which cute, but robbed me of a really a conversation I would have rather have had with them.
Folks said they enjoyed Tracy drunk. Well, she did a great job. I mean, she wasn't, again, actress-wise, did fine. Just didn't do much for me. Sandra Bullock's boyfriend has passed away from ALS. I know what he died for. I know he died from. I don't know. The scenes were just cheese to me, and I don't know. I mean, Tracy's not dumb. She wouldn't have got drunk. I mean, it was all a plot device point that you can overlook on someone. You go, okay, whatever. But it didn't do her any favors.
But then she got to act really hungover in that scene with Ned or Eddie.
Yes, Eddie.
So we got to could you please turn the lights off and be quiet when you talk? So we got to see that. 2 weird things in the Quartermaine kitchen or pantry or whatever area they're calling it. Yeah. Is that weird hangover scene with Eddie? Yes, and then the cold lasagna scene with Olivia. I love eating cold lasagna. It's like, it reminds me of being on the road. Oh,
hello, Cyrus. I want to like this storyline, but I can't. It just doesn't. Any way you slice it, I'm not enjoying it. Homeboy going to AA, talking about it. Alexis overhears, of course. He's talking about her, the friend who didn't tell. Yawn. I don't like. Okay, even though Alexis and Finn have more chemistry than Finn and Elizabeth.
For sure.
Yeah, they do. But they had a disabled person there running the meeting. So for you guys who are looking for disability awareness, there.
But it was also like comparing that to the scene that we had with Curtis. Like that person, the disability that was speaking with Curtis had more of a moment as a human being. Was able to kind of share their point of view as somebody that is living with a disability. This one was more just like a name check.
I didn't mind that though. I think it was on purpose. I think it was almost a point of like, we're just going to show you this person happens to be disabled. That's not their story. I think the story was the other one. I always felt like this one was just like, she happens to be disabled.
And I'm also an addict.
And you're also an addict. I think that's interesting. To me, that's fine.
All right.
If all things happen this week on the show, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. We're getting to Gladus. We're getting to them. I'm okay with that. Tracy and Olivia and Nettie are very interesting. Someone in the chat asked if Olivia looks up with Eddie, is it cheating? That's pretty funny. I like it. I like that he's fine. He likes Leo. He's finding common ground with him. She's pushing him to Brooklyn because she's a singer. That hasn't happened yet. But they're kind of seeing, they're finding their way. I think this could be a cute love story of him finding his way towards Olivia, then getting his memory back. And they're closer than ever. But it could be a really cute story.
Especially also too, I feel like two people kind of rediscovering who they are, both within themselves and each other. Because I mean, she was not around for those Eddie Main years, but that was a core part of Ned's life for a long time. And by the same token, for Olivia, her Bensonhurst days, core to her. Ned never really, or Eddie never really knew about that at all. And it's not something that, while it's, she's more of an upstanding businesswoman now. She's come a long way since the Bensonhurst days. But for the two of them to get to know those earlier, or have those parts of their lives being woken up again, for Olivia to get more of that Bensonhurst out of her, for Olivia to see this early part of Ned and his Eddie Main persona, for Eddie to see like, whoa, there's more to Olivia than I actually thought. That's great. It could be really cool. It's a shame because it's like they GHTs up these really interesting ideas.
Yeah.
And then more often than not, they drop the ball on them. And I can only hope they don't do it here.
I concur. Also, it's really that area of life. Eddie, Olivia, possibly working their way towards each other.
Don't forget, we get a phone call from Monica.
So that's what I was getting there. So I think, how can I segue into that? So Monica, and I'm assuming that was her voice.
Sounded like Leslie Charleston to me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I think they play a fake, so it's like, I mean, now with AI or whatever, who knows? But I think that was Monica, which we needed something from that. We needed something like that.
Yeah, but it's like,
must not be well. She must not be well.
It's a shame.
I don't know, folks. I don't know anything. Don't quote me. I just thinking, if she's not coming in to film scenes or not even filming scenes, off camera, there's something going on.
And that's a shame because I don't know, like that's a character that is sorely missed right now in the current Quartermaine dynamic. And it, it will be a bummer if they. I feel like you need to honor Leslie's work as Monica. And so if the time came where she wanted to just forever step away from the show, or, she unfortunately passed, I feel like the show would stick with that and not recast the character, which is disappointing because that's definitely a presence in the Quartermaine family that will be missed and as right now is not replaced in its shows.
And at some point, we have to deal with the Bobby situation. So, I mean, I just don't know how they're gonna do all that. It's going to be very interesting. They had a recast. They did. It was wasn't Lee Merriweather. I forgot somebody. No, it's one of the Cartwright girls. I want to say it was Julia Carr. I can't remember which one Carly was, who played her for a day or two.
Yeah,
that was it. And they moved on. So I don't know what's going on. They don't want to write for Monica, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea.
But it's like, like a Monica and Drew scene. Like, give me a phone call with Monica. Even like I would love that. Just give me a Drew scene talking to Monica on the phone. Give me that. That'd be good.
Yep. It was nice to hear her voice, I guess. I mean, it was fine. Again, I was excited. I was just like, okay. I hope it's addressed in the Graceland event that's coming up. Yeah, maybe you can tell us, Dolores. If you go there and you find something out, let us know. There are two. I know there's two stories. So adjacent to all this was Dex threatening Book to leave Cyrus alone, leave Drew alone. I don't care who he hanging out with. Drew's not to be touched.
There is, which, hey, give us some more book time. I was kind of bummed because I thought initially when we just see the two of them sitting across from each other, that it was going to be like, ooh, we're getting a little bit more into Dex's life. like Dex has some past relationship with Book, but then we find out it's the whole Sonny connection, which okay. But there's something about Dex that I just don't find intimidating, and I feel like when he's in those scenes and he's trying to like tell Book, it's like, Sonny, Mr. Crinkles just wants you to comply. I just have a tough time finding he does not exert the same gravitas that that Jason did.
Nope.
Or if you wanted to bring in Brick in that scene, that Brick would exhibit. It's just I don't mind him working for Sonny and kind of filling that kind of right hand man kind of role, but it's just at this moment he just doesn't quite have that gravitas for me yet.
So when Drew, Carly, Book, Dex are sitting across from each other, no one wants to acknowledge each other, of course. Or one. Number two, when Austin walks out, and Carly and Dex look at each other.
That it really I don't enjoy Carly and Drew at all.
I don't either.
It drives me absolutely bonkers is the way that they write Drew, where it's just like practically if you were put in prison in Drew's situation, because the deal that you had initially accepted with the DA, the judge threw out, you would just say, well, I'm just going to do my time. It took him so long to just even say to Carly, all right, go ahead and let Diane investigate it, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Like, come on, dude, enough. Just don't try to be like the selfless martyr all the time. Holy F. It's exhausting.
But she told Joss, live her life. Gotta live your life. Joss like, all of a sudden the time went by. Well, really. Her and Drew do nothing for me. I don't care if he's solitary, don't give around and carry and stuff. But Sonny's looking out for him, of course. So Sonny and Carly have those longing looks where she's always telling him, don't help me. Thank you, Sonny. Like, okay.
I mean, there's just something about Sonny coming over to Carly, just like getting something that he knows that she can't turn him down for to help her with.
Yes.
It's like, that's just all. It was just petty to me. I just wanted to show you that, yep, I can give you something that you can't say no to me about. Like, wow. Yeah. And you want to get back with that, Carly? All right.
Yeah. And okay. So we have several storylines we haven't talked about yet. The fans have been talking about. Before we get there, let's make sure we caught. Oh yeah. So Christina's mad at Molly and TJ and blah blah blah. I don't even have anything. I don't have nothing. I have nothing to say about that whole storyline. I could care less. I could care less.
How did you enjoy the interviews with all the potential surrogacy candidates?
That's my silence. For you guys,
I certainly have never gone through that process.
I neither.
And I would have to imagine that I guess, there are a wide variety of people that would pursue surrogacy as something for a variety of different reasons. Yeah. But the last character they did, who was just sitting there pounding down the veggie plate and just like, oh yeah, I'll do whatever you want, and how long would I get? Would you be covering my medical bills after this is all over? Chomp, 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 chomp. Like that just seemed like too comically over the top.
Yes.
For me in that situation. Like, come on. If somebody's actively wanting to get that, like they're not gonna be just so blatant about all this stuff, are they? I don't know.
No,
and my other thing too is, how do you feel about the revitalization of Kelly's? Like Willow comes in and she's like, oh my gosh, and Sam like, wait, what you've done with this place? James, wake up.
Oh, it looks great. It looks the same to me. I don't know what the fuck you're seeing, bitches.
It
looks the same to me. I don't see any difference. I just don't care. I just, again, if I could care less, I would. The Spencers aren't there. There are a few smattering of Spencers, but they're not a united family on the show anymore. So this whole Kelly's thing, it rings false to me because it's not connected to anything. And we don't see Bobby, you don't see Luke, you don't see Lulu, you don't really see Laura. I mean, like, you don't see anybody. Like, it's just kind of like, okay, so Kelly's an institution. However, it's not. I don't care.
Yeah, it's but Carly's behind the counter, man, expediting.
Yes, she is.
Like a boss, which is phenomenal. I will give this as a segue into storylines you may want to talk about.
Speaking of there's two we haven't talked about yet.
I will only say offer this scene as a segue into these storylines is, as we're talking Spencer's, the scene between Dante and Valentine, where Valentine's like, hey, if you're going to bring Charlotte over to see Lulu, then I need you to tell me because it upsets her. And he's like, no, she asked to see this, and I will take her every time she does and never ask you about it.
So as a parent, you and I both are parents, I'm like, no, motherfucker, when I tell you that, you need to follow. I don't care if you like me or don't like me, dislike me. That's my daughter that I put in your care. I've been very nice to you about it. He has not been mean to them or anything. It's like, no, Dante. I would have tried to say, no, Dante. It's up to me to decide if she goes. Like, I don't care if you're not her father. You are literally her half brother's father. That's all it is. You're not even a stepdad or anything. So it's like, no, I have a problem with that. On another show, I went off about that on another show today. But the role of that person. You are the boyfriend of somebody who, I mean, like, no, you don't. That is my daughter. I don't care if you like me or don't like me. But you need to respect my wishes. I don't care who's her mother. You need to talk to me first. I thought that was the rudest thing that he could say. He was being smart ass. And even like Anna a while back was like, I didn't know you hate him so much. Like, I mean, that for Dante, I'm like, Dante really has no reason to hate him at all.
Yeah.
Not really. He's not done anything to him ever. Again, this is manufactured. It makes no sense to me. But I mean, I think Charlotte and all that, but Charlotte does love her father, and anyway, again, to me, it's like you're doing things just to do things sometimes, and that is what bugs me.
You know what a bummer is though with Charlotte for me? It's like I absolutely buy the love and enjoy seeing those scenes between Charlotte and Valentine.
I agree.
I have never bought into, and the show's never shown me enough of the Charlotte Lulu relationship to ever feel like they're like so bonded.
I agree.
So it's a bummer. It's like, yes, I know she's missing her mom and she's in a coma, but I feel like even when Lulu was around on the show, there weren't those great scenes between the two of them that they had between Valentine and Charlotte. Like Valentine and Charlotte absolutely believe Valentine would do anything in the world to protect this girl, and that, you know, their affection and love for each other is genuine and real. And for Lulu, it just is like, because the writers have written it, I'm supposed to believe it, and I can't.
I agree. No more for me to say there. I agree with you on that. So remember Dante and Sonny's son, yeah, right? Okay. There is the Sasha stuff. That's one side. And which we'll go into it. Because there's the Pike, there's the Sasha stuff, there's the Anna stuff. And Pikeman's in there somewhere. Okay, so it's overlapping a lot of stuff. Sasha, Sophia McMillan is doing a great job. I will give it to her. She's taking what she's given, and she sounds crazy. Got it. The doctor, we kind of finally got a motive. Asking for money from Gladys.
Like that was it though? Like that was the motive.
That's why I say kind of. I'm putting air quotes. Kind of. Having homeboy Cody stand so hard for Sasha when they barely know each other. They're kind of friends, but you would think he was one of her best friends or he's in love with her. I guess he could be, I guess. I mean, I don't know. But, and he's right, of course. I mean, that's kind of the thing too. But I just am not into it either. And Sam talking to him and his daddy talking to him. And I don't know. I'm just like, and Gladys, which to me, I mean, I love you, Bonnie Burroughs, and I love you. But I feel like they've ruined the character of Gladys now.
Yeah.
She always did go too far. And she's like, what are you doing to my daughter-in-law? Like, I just want you that, like, and now he's blackmailing her, but still you put the ball rolling by bringing this doctor into it.
Yeah,
so
that is tough. It's a rough storyline, and this is one that's killing me with the pacing. It is just like this could have been, if this had been like a short and sweet kind of storyline, okay, I still wouldn't have enjoyed it, but at least, told in an accelerated clip, it could have been at least engaging to watch. But now we're having to watch Cody to pretend to be crazy so he can get committed, and then trying to convince Sam to commit him. And we all know that, of course, he'll get committed, but it's not going to go as smooth as it's supposed to be, and then it's going to be dangerous for Cody. And I feel like it's just going to be drawn out for so long, and this is a storyline that does not warrant this long of a story arc to be able to tell, especially when I don't think there's anybody that's loving the storyline other than the writers. But it's a shame, and the producers. But they're making us have to watch Finn and Elizabeth. So clearly, that like taking the audience's temperature on stuff that they're enjoying does not seem paramount to them at the moment.
So as a pregnant pause, you guys at home listening.
Boy or a girl?
I'm crowning, trust me. I want to release it. I want to release it to the world. At least that I agree with, of course. But I'm just like, I was trying to find something redeeming. There's nothing redeeming it because Cody's holding the fact that he is actually the son of Mac. They keep pushing Mac in his direction on purpose because we know it's going to come. So it's lazy writing. Adding Sam has juiced up a little bit for me. Adding Sam in it kind of goes, okay. I'm not a huge fan of Sam either, but I don't mind her. But it's like, it kind of is. Give me a little something. But I'm glad she was just like, you can't kind of con. All of a sudden, you're crazy. I kind of like that he talked her through it. But see, it's one of those things like you said. I think some of these are filler scenes because they have a bit to fulfill contracts. It's like, okay, let's just throw a scene together so we'll fulfill her contract this month. And there's some things I feel like they didn't need to happen. I feel like there's some scenes that just were like, I don't need them. It's there are a lot of scenes on the show that happen. I'm like, did we need to see? There's a scene I'm thinking about right now. I'm like, did we need to have happen? And that was I just left my brain. There was another scene I think kind of show. I can't remember what it is, but anyway, it'll come to me. But I'm just not a fan. I can't. And Pikeman, I don't give a shit about. And I mean, also, I just don't. We know it's tied to Mason and all that too. Obviously, it's all tied to Valentine, making him look bad, and we'll get to Anne and all that. But the Sasha stuff, I'm glad that Sam was like talking him out of this whole like folks, what are you gonna do when you get in there? How are you gonna do that? Like how you gotta really think about this, because before when Jason brought out Carly, that was something totally different. But these guys obviously are amateurs, and like, what she's just like, what are you doing? And I kind of feel like having heard the voice of reason because she's an ex-con, didn't mind that so much. Kind of made sense. And of course the horses got their screen time. We love that. But I'm just like, I'm not excited about the storyline. Again, I want to be excited, but like I said, Sasha's doing Sophia Mingo's doing a great job, but everything else is so over the top. I'm just like, I don't, the police station scene, everything's over the top. I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, especially because it's like, how nobody could buy that Cody's acting crazy. Like those scenes were like, no, who's buying this? Nobody's buying this, Cody.
Right.
It's terrible. It's a stupid idea. But the thing that's killing me is like, as much as he's caring about Sasha, like this is Gladys is doing this, and it's all Gladys, and nobody's like, well, really? How do we know? It's like Cody has all this information, and he's only like piecemealing it out, and he's really compartmentalizing it. It's like if he just came clean to Dante and Mac about everything he knows about Gladys and her business or the debts that she has to Selena Wu.
Yes.
Like that right there, guys, that can really help get people to can believe your point of view that Gladys is behind this and that this is a sham for Sasha. But it's like, no, I'm not going to do all that. Instead, I'm just going to try to act crazy and get people like it's like it's just like it's writing the storyline stupid to me.
Yeah, no, I know people are saying in the chat room they brought the whole Dominique storyline saying she was committed and stuff. Does anybody care? I'm sorry. I mean, Dominique has not been on the canvas in 30 years, and there's nobody around that's really like,
but it's like, hey, all right, cool. If you wanted to mention that, because that is a connection point between Mac and Cody, great. Then have Cody just come clean to Mac, and have Mac try to help him out, and then those two become closer as just, from Mac's point of view as friends, but then Cody's getting to know him even more as this father figure, which is making him even more guilty about the lie that he's told. Why aren't we doing that as a way to kind of further that story, that aspect? Because that's a terrible thing that I'm waiting for it to finally come out. But at least having Mac and Cody working together on this would then help advance that idea more. And we're not. We're just like Max is like boxed out. And now it's Sam doing this for I don't know why. Like the whole con thing, yes, I get that. But if you want to just try to also advance Cody's storyline, who cares about having Sam in the mix on this? Get Mac in the mix.
Your buddy Mac. Yeah, I feel like I said, some of these storylines it's like it is for filler. Like I say, it's like we have to give them a couple of scenes, so you better just do it. It just feels that way to me sometimes. But some of these scenes are just not needed. I don't know. I really don't have much more to say. I don't care for the storyline. I'm just going, okay, so now Gladys can't get money. What's Selena really going to do? I mean,
right?
She's locked up in a decision. And aren't you, Selena? Aren't you part of deception? Don't you know this shit's locked up?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You can't be selling any stock.
Yeah, does she know? Is she always in the know? So she should be in the know that you're right. Gladys can't get done. Everything's frozen. And she should know that.
Well, especially since Selena negotiated this hostilities down between Gladys and Cody. Like, I don't know why Gladys then just doesn't say, like, here's the deal. This doctor that's also in your poker game is blackmailing me now. And I can't do this. I can't pay him and pay you. So if you want your money, help me out, knocking this guy off the edge.
Right.
And have her, negotiate between these two people because she's done it already.
I agree. But they're not writing that. They're not writing it. They're not writing it. They're not writing it.
And who would say, what are you doing to my daughter-in-law? Like, we all know that. Why are you doing, what are you doing to Sasha? I don't know. We get it. We already know she's your daughter-in-law.
I'm done this right. Okay. One of the last things to talk about, because I'm really not that invested in this either anymore now at this point, because of the direction they're going. Anna and Valentine. Let's make him look suspicious. Let's go that direction. Really? Why can't it be someone? Why can't it be someone from her past? Like, there's a lot of folks from her past. I'm fine with that direction. But now you're going, well, now she's stupid around and you lied to me. What are you talking about? I mean, that you were in the shower for so long, like it rubbed my whole body. To me, let's go, because of Anna's rich history, you could pull anybody out and the fans would be happy. You can even go to All My Children, pull someone else like David Hayward, but anybody out. it'd be fun and go that direction. But no, now you're going this direction of now he said he was a bad boy, he was always a good boy. Like, but he loves me. I know he loves me. Like it's oh my god. I'm so Vanna fans, I'm on your side. I am not a fan of this latest development. And I don't mind Valentine being this whole Pikeman stuff kind of leading to him, but I just think that he's not in charge. That's not it. Like you told Sonny, I'm not in charge. You know, I enjoy, like I say, I gotta find one thing I enjoy. One thing. I'm actually enjoying Anna and Sonny's relationship.
Yeah.
As she said, I'm not in a police force anymore. I'm not anybody, we're not on the other side. I mean, I can actually be friends with you now with no problem. And they have a history. Him making the food was good. I liked all that.
Also, like Sonny for that, like I'm making the meal of a lifetime, or whatever. He's like that. I've been cooking all day. Like, okay, for who? Like, who's eating all this food? Just the two of them? What if Anna hadn't showed up? What was Sonny going to do with all this food? Nobody's coming to that restaurant. Who's eating at that restaurant?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, for me, I'm frustrated because it's like, they finally have kind of brought Anna and Valentine together. There's been that chemistry for the longest time. It's great, finally doing it. And it seemed like we had reached the point with those two characters that there were going to be games between the two of them. And I feel like now they're just running these games into the storyline. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, why that these characters would not be asking each other and giving each other direct answers.
Yeah. I thought they passed that point too. And I thought they were drawing on their long time like for each other. They both have nefarious past. And so they're not playing it like he's a robot and being programmed, which even if they do that, I hate that also. But I don't there's so many things about this storyline I just don't like. Okay, like for example, I'm sorry, folks, but we forgot to mention this. It's because it's very small, but I don't even really give a crap. I didn't need to see Felicia's scene try to become now a patient advocate. I didn't need to see it. I didn't care. Stella's there doing it. I just didn't. She's doing a whole life change, whatever. I don't really care, and it did nothing for me. I didn't. I give like a filler scene. We got to give Christina Wagner her due. We got Homegirl here this week. Let's just like do. I just didn't care for it.
I mean, what's a bummer is, I because of whatever I assume is going on with Bob Hart's Apashola, and they're not on the cast anymore. It's just being used when needed. That it's like great. Well, then that could be GH's Boone, even though we've already got so many characters on the show already. But having Aunt Stella in the mix on a regular basis, sure, that's great. Makes sense to have her be in the hospital. It's Felicia that's frustrating me. I mean, the patient advocate, given her history with Maxie and the hospital, it makes sense, I guess, if you look at it from that point of view. But there's the other part of me that's like, well, I thought she was going to be a private detective, and she was really getting into that. And you kind of teased that she was getting back into the game. And are we just playing it? And the show hasn't really made this clear, but just after what went down in Pine Valley with Lucy and Jackson Montgomery, that was the breaking point for Felicia. Like, I can't do this anymore. Now I need to figure out what's going on with my life. Like, that was a minuscule kind of something went wrong and blowing in my face compared to many things that have happened in Felicia's life, and the adventures she's had, and even her time as a PI. Like, we've not seen like you teased us a Sam and Felicia kind of pairing, but that never came to that never went anywhere. And now you're doing this. It's just like pick a direction for Felicia and then go with it, I guess.
I just don't care.
But I think this is the least interesting direction. I rather would have had Felicia back being a private eye.
I know. Here's the thing. They have so many private eyes running around. That would have been a fun thing to have them people group together.
Yes.
And I wouldn't mind a Spinelli, Curtis, Sam, Felicia, like all of them together working together, kind of agency, and see the shenanigans. But
that would be a bazillion times more interesting. I mean, taking all these different characters from different parts of the different eras of the show and putting them together. That would be cool. I would love to see that. I'd love to see how a Felicia and Curtis scene would go across. Give me that.
But they aren't writing it. They aren't writing it. They aren't writing it. And I just, yeah. We still have Maxie has moved to a new place yet. I guess we dropped that story all of a sudden. Like we were talking about that a couple weeks ago. Has not been picked up.
The only thing I need to see now is Maxie in her new place. I do not need to see another scene.
I agree.
In her apartment with the kids melting down. I do not. You've already made that point, GH. We get it. She needs a new place. Just the next time we see it, she's in the lighthouse. Perfect. All right. She can be. It can be moving day, and she can be unboxing, but she's in the lighthouse, and that's great. I don't need to see anything more.
Yeah.
The whole Pikeman thing is killing me because we get scenes like they clearly know the other person knows stuff, but they're not just talking to each other about it. Like Valentina saw that envelope that Anna took out of his briefcase and left on the table, and he leaves the note in the exact same spot that envelope was. So Anna knows that Valentine knows that she grabbed that envelope and had it. So it's like, why are we playing these games? Why are they not just talking to each other directly? It's so crazy to me.
Yes. Oh, Frank, what about the recipe?
Oh, well, okay. All right. I will go back only to see like the special care and the armed security guards that Maxie hires to take that, over at, in some kind of cool, like security lineup of cars driving from her apartment to the lighthouse. Give me that scene. And then somebody, destroys the caravan and breaks into the one car holding the secret recipe. And off we go into a wild adventure. Get George Hamilton back as the colonel. And it's Maxie and George Hamilton as the colonel going off to retrieve that secret recipe from like, I don't know, like Brown's Chicken is trying to make a return. And they're going to steal it.
Is that everything, folks? We've been on here 2 hours. Is that everything? I feel like, I enjoyed talking to you, Frank, but I have not enjoyed this week's General Hospital, so it's been a mixed bag for me. I think I don't tell you, kids at home, I was telling you, 65-year-old watching, thank you so much. 32 likes, hit the like button, of course. We appreciate it, but we tried. I think we did okay today. We tried to find some good stuff in here, but I'm telling you guys, it was rough this week. Hopefully this week will be better. No, hopefully this week. We will not be back next week. It's Labor Day weekend. I'm not laboring, so give Frank the weekend off. You can do what you want.
Oh, thank you. I'll just be sitting here, just looking at the computer, the blank computer screen, and just talking to it still about my thoughts. I'll have a little drawing that I've made of James that I'll just post right up here. What did you think, James? Yes. Good thoughts, James. Good thoughts.
Trust and believe. Yes. But Frank and I are here on Wednesday talking about Ahsoka with our buddy John Dunphy and our girl Kim McAndrew will be here. And my voice is back. So, and I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes. So I'm looking forward to the 3rd episode. We'll be here Wednesday night live and in living color. So we will be here doing it. Oh, poor Frank. Frank's not going to sit here for real. Frank has a life. Let me sit here for real. They're all poor Frank. You're not going to sit here for real. Wait till next weekend. But we'll be together on Wednesday.
We will. Do what you want to do and live in color.
Live in color. And Frank, you can hear Frank's just ripping apart Ahsoka. So
that's right. Eviscerate that show.
I rewatched that show and I was laughing the whole time. But yes, but that's out too. It's a huge hit for us. Them Star Wars shows are you can listen to us or watch us. This show, GH Me Spotlight, is on Facebook. Same with Bone Beef Me Spotlight. So you guys, half of you guys really know who we are. So I'm going to actually start doing some stuff on Facebook. Someone said, is James one of those writers for GH? No, I wish I was a writer for GH. Which I did. But I will be, Frank will be staring at his phone next Sunday watching the email account rise. Yes, exactly. But no, I'm going to start doing some stuff on Facebook so you know, there he is. He's looking, he's counting. I want to show you, I want you guys to know who we are. So I'm going to do a little more stuff so you guys know who we are because we have over 5,000 people following us on Facebook. Or 5,000.
Look at that. Let's start a campaign of getting James in the writer's room at GH.
Well, that's a mixed bag too, because you guys are crazy fans. I don't want to write for GH. But I was telling you, I think consultant maybe to say, I'll consult. I'm like, oh, because you guys, because I write something, you guys get mad at me. No thanks. I don't want to hear it. But we love talking to you at home. Thanks for the super chats. The 3 folks get super chats today. Thank you. Goes towards the thing. Again, we sign up for one Zoom, which somebody did say already. We sign up for one Zoom, you get a free Zoom. So sign up today and get that special. And folks, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Hopefully we're back for September 11th. And next month, towards the end of the month, it is our 8-year anniversary, and we're going to do, as I every year always do a little something. I might get the band back together. Like I did it a couple of times. I'm going to try to get the band back together. So that's Lucretia, Ladine, and Carla. I'm going to try to get them all together with us to celebrate. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going to work on that. And I think that's it, Frank. Where can I follow you?
On Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie.
And you can follow me where James Jr. is sold at James Jr. on all social media platforms. Guys, everybody take care.